doing
Start with
because Tati doesn't have one.
opening statement by Coach Mark Beckham, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Oh, I gotta have.
Talk about the upcoming season.
I didn't have anything prepared. I'm excited. I've got these two seniors with me. A lot of experience in this year's team. Much different than last season, so I feel like we're prepared for whatever's thrown at us. Just the age factor. I like having experience on my team, so we have that. So whenever we're playing these high-level squads, it's not like it's going to be the first time that they've seen it. So I feel like we're prepared. We do have to get healthy, but once we get healthy fully, I feel like we can compete with anybody. So I'm excited about the season.
Mark.
Talk about what it's like to have Tati on your team. She's got a lot of experience. She went to the NCAAs as a
Talk about what it's like to have a Tati on your team, bringing her experience and her level-headedness. She's very steady and steadfast for you all.
Yeah, she's good. I mean, she's experienced the highest level of tennis. I mean, everybody wants to play NCAA tournament. She's done it in the individual, as high as 12, I believe, in the country in doubles. So, I mean, she's played the highest level. That particular year, there was only 2 teams that beat the national champions that actually won the whole thing, and Tati was a part of that, one of those wins against them. So she knows what it takes. So it's comforting for me when I have people on my team that there's not a level that they're going to be, they're so good. This is not going to happen with her. She's already beaten the best. So whenever you have somebody like that on your team, it makes my life a little bit easier, for sure. Yeah.
Cece's new to your team. What does she bring into the Cardinal roster?
It's the same. I mean, she's seen, she's coming from a smaller school, but she has played against high-level players, and she's done well. She was playing, one at her old school, so she's always getting, the best shot from anybody, any school that she plays against. So she's not gonna have to do that here. So she's gonna be ready herself as well for anything that's thrown at her because she's seeing high-level tennis, and that's the biggest thing in this conference. Once you get to conference, we're playing the best of the best. So she's kind of tasted that a little bit already. She hadn't quite seen what she's about to go through, but it's not going to overwhelm her at all because she's already seen high-level tennis.
Mark, you go through it every year. When you get to the ACC, it's so tough, the beginning of the year. Do you, with a group like this where you do have a little more experience, did you change anything up with the schedule and the way you do things, or kind of how did you put this year together?
I mean, it worked out because, every year I have to set up our schedule to where, obviously the goal is individual NCAA tournament, team NCAA tournament. So that's done way before the season actually gets here. So I don't quite know what my roster is going to be when the schedule's actually made. But for this particular year, it's good. I mean, last year I had 2 starters that before the season even started that weren't able to play for the entire year. So you're playing with people that weren't going to be starting in your lineup against the competition we play against. Kind of tough. This year, we're not going to have that, and I'm going to have my full roster, and then I've actually upgraded the roster as far as talent-wise. So it's all about talent. Doesn't matter what sport it is, tennis, basketball, football, whatever it is. If you got talent, you have a chance to compete. And once you get to that point, it's about getting over the edge and winning some good matches. So we were competitive a lot last season with not as much talent. So obviously I'm hoping that more talent, we're going to be able to get over the hump and surprise some people. Yeah.
That was going to be my question. Do you feel as confident as you have in a while as far as knowing the daunting schedule in the ACC, but knowing the talent level and how much higher it is that you have now?
Yeah, I mean, that's the first step. I mean, we can come up with all kinds of great coaching and stuff in practice, but if you don't have the players to do that, makes it hard. So I've got to have these two kind of nicked up a little bit right now, but once they're healthy, get my full team. We are going to be able to compete with anybody. As crazy as it sounds, number 1 North Carolina came to our place last year, and we actually had a chance to win that match. I've never seen Coach Calbus that mad before. I mean, he actually thought for a second he was going to lose. So now that I have increase in talent, hopefully we stay healthy. I really don't see why we should really put a cap on what we can do. It's got usual deal. Got to take a match at a time kind of deal. Yeah.
Tatiana, can you just kind of talk about that and having the group that's together now and how different maybe it is from what before?
Well, as Coach mentioned, I think we're a very, very talented team this year. It's just a matter of we have to be all on the same page and bring the energy every single day on practice and the match. And it's just a matter of our bodies to feel good, and I think we can be really good this year.
For you, what do you feel like you can do? What can how can you get better? How can you improve on what you have done here before?
Well, it's my 5th year here in the college, so I experienced a lot. And for me, it's just my body has to feel good because I'm dealing with an injury right now. And as long as my body is good, I feel good on the court, and we can do some stuff, some good stuff.
CC, you hear them talking about the difficulty of the ACC. What are your thoughts about climbing into that type of competition and be able to compete against these girls?
Oh, I'm actually excited because I've always wanted to compete with some better peoples. And when I was in my old school, we had played some better teams, but because the school is too small, and we're actually a good team. And a lot of good teams don't want to play us because they're afraid that they're going to get beat by us. So after I transferred here, actually really looking forward to the opportunities to play other bigger schools.
For both of you, just as you were talking about the ACC, how much do you want, or how much does this team have to take the early part of the schedule and improve in order to kind of get some momentum going? I think you kind of had that a little bit last year, but how much do you need the momentum going into the ACC?
Well, I think it's good that we play matches that are not in our conference, so it's a good practice, and we can be prepared for the actual ACC matches. So we have to get some matches in, and then I think we can play good against ACC teams. Yeah.
Coach, can you kind of take us through some of the other maybe newcomers or some folks that you expect to kind of help out, and what maybe kind of your lineup may look like?
Another name hopefully you guys are going to hear a lot from. Jamila Snells is her name. She's got a lot of talent. Has to learn this level's different than what she's used to, but a lot of talent there. I have another transfer, Maria Campos from Colorado. She's coming from Pac-12, so she's played UCLA's, the Stanfords, that kind of thing. So that was one of my draws. I recruited her out of high school, and she decided to leave, so she came, and I guess not back, but came to me this time. And the reason why I was drawn to her again was because of the fact that, she's played big-time tennis. So I feel like she's going to have a big impact on the lineup as well. And then, it's just everybody else. It's just a combination, kind of like what Tati said. We've got to bring it every single day in practice, and then obviously in the matches, because, yes, we are good players. But like I tell every recruit and just anybody who wants to hear it, we're not just playing good players. We're playing the absolute best of the best, because the national champion in singles and doubles generally comes from the ACC. So we're playing them on a regular basis. Just a match on a Friday, we're playing potential national champion individually, or team-wise even too. So it's just different. It really is. So I feel like we have enough now to where we can compete against that, but still, North Carolina, they can kind of roll out of bed and just do what they do, and probably still going to win. We don't have that luxury. We gotta bring it every day and do what we need to do up to that point.
Mark, for you, this is year 30 with this tennis program. What are your just reactions and your thoughts when you hear 30 years with one university, one program?
Obviously, the first one is I'm an old guy now. Been around for a long time. It's more than anything, it's pride. It's pride for me. I'm from this city. I grew up, one of my first recollections of anything is being 10 years old in the 1980 national championship basketball team. Darrell Griffith, the Doctors of Dunk. That was my childhood. So for me to go through that, and then 86 and the Final Fours and just the whole deal, being able to coach this university, It's got to be different. This isn't a normal thing. If I wasn't coach, I mean, I'd be in the stands, cheering and that kind of thing. I'd be a fan of this place. So for me, obviously, it's a lot different. But the biggest thing is the pride with what Rodrigo's doing now. I feel like I had a little part of that, early on, trying to build the foundation for what he's continued to do with the men's program. So, and I'm trying to do some good things here with the women's program. So, I can look back on this deal and be like, you know what? I kind of helped that tennis program, both sides, kind of do a little something kind of thing. So definitely a pride in it. And I want this team to do, the men's team and the women's team, I want them to do, obviously, the best they possibly can because, I've seen it all. Yeah.
You were talking about luxury. Do you have the luxury this year of mixing things up more than what you have maybe in recent years with your lineup?
Definitely. We got options, Me and my assistant coach, Coach K, we always talk about, wish we had some options. We didn't have options certain years, just don't. This year we have options. Like I said, we are going to have to manage through the early part of our season just because of some tendonitis type things we got to get through. So having those options and having a little bit of depth now is going to get us through those. But I definitely need these two to get healthy, be strong, be able to play their best tennis so we can do what we need to do. Because I feel like, we actually can scare some people and upset some people because that's kind of where we're going to be coming from. Nobody's going to expect us necessarily to do a lot of stuff, but I know what we have and I know what we're capable of. 30 years of seeing it, I kind of know what a good team looks like and a not so good team looks like, and we've got a good team, so I know we can do some things. Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you.